Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show here from the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, where we're going to be tasting some distillate that our own Darren McCroy made at a class that he did. We'll be talking about the class, and I'm also before we end the show, I'm going to take you out the back door here of the ABV Barrel Shop and let you hear the cicadas, because some areas aren't getting the cicadas this year. So we want you to hear what that sounds like. Just to give you an idea how loud it is, I'm going to go out. I'll go outside and face them. Last time I was out there, I got dived by one, Darren. It was
I was going to say, you're taking your life in your own hands.
Exactly. So my name's Steve Eckley. That's Darren McCroy. We're here at the ABV Barrel Shop. What's up, Darren?
Hey.
The ABV Tasting Bar, as you think it is.
No, tasting shop.
Tasting shop. The tasting.
Tasting bar is not the wrong terminology. Tasting shop is the one that's wrong.
Definitely wrong. The tasting shop. It sounds kind of scary.
Yeah.
So before we get to this talk about this class, which sounded pretty fantastic, you gave me some great material to promote it with. Maybe I'll promote this show with the pictures you sent over.
Yeah.
You sent me 2 great pictures that I had to merge into one.
Probably the 2 worst pictures I took that day. I don't know why those are the ones I chose to send.
So I had asked Darren to shoot over a photo or 2 so we could promote this for Gary while it was happening. And Darren said, yep, I can do that. And then that morning he sends me over a photo that is it's just barely shows the side of his face, and then the side of his face that it does show is cutting off the billboard in front of Woodhat. So you don't really see anything. You don't necessarily see the billboard with Woodhat on it. You don't see Darren, and that's one of the photos. Then he sends me just another random photo, which is just a selfie of him, and the camera's like way too close, where it's like. It'd be different. I get a selfie when you could see a bunch of stuff going on in the background, but really it was so close to him.
You couldn't see nothing.
You didn't get a feel for anything behind him. So what I did was I took the selfie of him and then put it in front of the half of the billboards, and it looked like at least you could see Darren was there, and then that's what I used to promote it, which was probably hurt Gary's ability to sell that event in the future. I don't know. I don't think it didn't help it. That's for sure.
But, I don't know, but it's gotten a lot of conversation about how bad the photo is, and then it's a opening of the door, right?
Yeah, you claimed it was very artistic in nature.
But just trying to defend myself a little bit.
Yeah. So what do you got here for small talk? You said there's something you want to talk about.
So how many different, on an average week, how many different emails do you get from distilleries?
From distilleries?
Like from signing up for their newsletter and everything?
I try to sign up for their newsletters. Because, that's the way you find out what's going on.
Yeah.
I would say average week 25.
Yeah.
I think, yes. Maybe more than that, because not only do I get the generic ones that they send out, then their PR people reach out to me. So I don't know, maybe if you count that in, it's probably double that, maybe even. I mean, I get a lot, yeah.
So I think I'm somewhere on average like that 18 mark. I haven't gotten everyone. But you know who does a really good job of sending out these emails?
Who?
Jim Beam. Like all of their emails have a catchy, whatever message thing.
Right.
And then you can click on there and you get a lot of information.
They get you. They get you.
Oh. Them and Four Roses as well.
Okay. All right. Got a little telephone call there. We're back, though. Darren had to grab that. Ended up being they just hung up on it. So, it was a waste of time. It happens.
Waste of editing here by Steve.
Yeah, it just happens. I may forget that at that. We'll see. All right. What you had a question or something about the?
I think Jim Beam does a great job with their weekly emails. Is there a distillery that you think stands out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you mentioned Four Roses, one of my favorites as well. A lot of information going on, contests, all that kind of stuff. I think that our own Lux Row does a great job as well. I like what they do. Maker's Mark has always been, I think, at one point Maker's Mark was the king of those things. So Bill Samuels Jr. used to write the intro to those, and he was great. We do have customers coming in, so we're going to definitely take an official break, and we'll come back to this. All right, that took a little bit longer. That was an actual customer, unlike the phone call. That was an actual customer came in, tasted through some things, and bought a bottle, which is pretty cool. So, but that means that we kind of forgot where we're at in our conversation, but we feel like it was done.
Yeah, right. It was good enough, and if it wasn't, you'll yell at us later.
So we're going to be tasting something here from Wood Hat. So what is this that we're going to be tasting from Wood Hat, Darren?
This is his Bourbon Rubenesque Bottle and Bond. So that is his blue corn with a little bit of wheat in it.
Okay. All right. Well, cheers on that, Darren.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right. Gary does good things, that's for sure, and that one's a winner. So we got to get some of that in the store here. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this class. What was Darren's experience? What he accomplished? And we're going to be trying something that he made during that day. Should be fun. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. Practice session. Here we go.
What?
Just say it. It's recording. You don't have to press anything. Don't press it.
Can I get the words?
No. Go ahead, Joe.
Can I get the words?
No.
Welcome to the Earth Daily. Today we are talking about what we are going to talk about on the Bourbon Daily.
Nailed it. Everybody, welcome back. It's Steve Akeley and Darren McCroy here at the ABV Tasting Shop.
It feels right, doesn't it, when you say it?
No, it doesn't.
You gotta
feel
say
right
it with
at
your
all.
chest.
Imagine us having to promote the ABV Tasting Shop. People are like, what in the hell's going on? So, yeah, we're here at the Tasting Bar ABV Barrel Shop, and we are going to be tasting in a little bit here some distillate that Darren made, as well as the rest of the class. But before we get to all that, just tell us a little bit about the class, what it's all about.
So this class is really to give you an experience in bourbon, a hands-on experience on how to make bourbon.
Okay.
You will actually leave the class with some of the new make and a barrel to age it in.
Okay.
So, they haven't finalized all the details on what that's going to look like yet, but
yeah,
they were throwing around as much as like 15 gallons worth.
Wow.
So
15 gallons?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And so that was a really cool experience, and you get to spend the day with Gary and Russ from Blacksmith Distilling. They were both hanging around, and both are working together on this project. But it's out at Wood Hat, and
well, we'll take a break here again.
Okay.
We got some customers coming in, so
the podcast streak's working this time.
Yes, the podcast is working how it should. It brings people in. So, all right, we're back again. It was Darren's sister and his brother-in-law, and they're here shopping. So we're now we have an audience.
Yeah, it's a live studio audience.
First time we've had a live studio audience while we're podcasting. So, you were telling us a little bit about the class. It's done by Gary and Russ, and what else? What else is going on in that thing?
You start off the day. I didn't get the full experience of the class.
Because it's supposed to be like a 2-day thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 2-day thing.
It's going to be 2-day. You had a compressed version of it because they're testing through some things. You had a 1-day experience. So
on the first day, you'll go up there and you'll get to cook and ferment and like start the fermentation process for your own batch.
Right.
And then on the second day, you'll get to distill it.
Yeah.
And so you take the mash that you distilled. You get to try it after it's fermented, and that was honestly my favorite part of the day because like a lot of places you go, you try with like 2 fingers.
Right.
You got a cup full of mash this time, and the flavors of the grain and everything, especially with Gary using blue corn,
right, is
just really interesting. It's a different mash experience.
Yeah.
And then on the distilling day, which is what we really focused on, the still's running, and you keep trying it off the still. Right. And so it teaches you how to make heads, hearts, and tails cuts based off taste, temperature.
You're seeing that flavor profile transition, as you prepare to make that cut. Yeah.
And it was interesting because, Gary, he loves to sit there and talk about everything that he's doing.
Right.
And so, like, every 10 minutes of conversation, you'd be like, okay, go try it again. And then you try it again, and it's a different flavor profile as you're getting out of the heads and into the tails and the hearts. And even in the hearts, there was different flavors when you're sitting there tasting it all the time. So that was really cool. That was honestly probably the best part besides Gary being Gary. And anytime you can sit down and listen to Gary and how he talks about things is fantastic. So a lot of these, it's called the You Make Bourbon class. Okay. Is what they're calling it. And a lot.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Instead of New Make, it's You Make. Okay.
A lot of what they're distilling is blue corn.
Okay.
And it will predominantly be what we have here in front of us. So this is Gary's strain number 43 of blue corn that he has crossed out. We were the first people to run it through the big still. He'd done a little small test batches.
Sure.
But like for any substantial amount, we were the first ones to do it on Tuesday. So, you want to try this new mix that we got here?
All right, yeah, we got some here. All right. It's very buttery on the nose, like buttered popcorn for sure, and it smells great, man. So let's taste it. Yeah, it's really nice,
really clean,
mellow, clean,
buttery,
corny. Yes. And what's the proof on this?
That's 119.
That's crazy.
That is up there in proof.
The drink's like an 80 proof moonshine or something. I mean, it's sweet enough too, where you think it's actually moonshine instead of like a White Dog whiskey. Because moonshine, of course, they're adding sugar in there. And this is just good, man. And
the other part of the class that we didn't really get to do, we kind of ran out of time. But in Gary's office, he's going to take everyone over there, and he has 19 different corn mashes of different corns that he's distilled in new make form. And then you can compare red new make versus blue new make versus blue 43, blue 42, and Blue 60.
Oh, God, sorry. It just sounded like a football.
Yeah, I did. Every time he said Blue 43, I'm like, you're so close to a football thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. Gary once tried to cure cancer with some of the stuff. He doesn't like to talk.
Corn.
He doesn't like to talk about it because he was not successful. Neither has anybody else.
He gave it a shot.
He gave it a shot. I think that's pretty cool. But he won't talk about it because he gets embarrassed because he didn't solve the cancer problem. But,
then he also took us out into his rick house and we tried a few things out there.
It's always fun. Always fun. So
can't complain.
Very good. So hopefully it's something everybody's interested in. We'll promote it as they finalize it and get that stuff out there. It's just spending a day with Gary. What a great person to learn from. So very cool. So we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures. Also 5 days a week here at the ABV Tasting Shop.
It's the ABV Barrel Shop.
Oh, Barrel Shop. Damn it. Only if I knew where I worked.
For me, I'm easy to find at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop, where I'm hanging out with Darren a couple days a week. We work conflicting schedules, so we're not always working together, but when we are, we might like the podcast. You might get on a podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be our second live studio audience. So there you go. So say hi, guys. Look at live studio audience. There you go. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to walk outside because I promised you I'd let you listen to the cicadas. So we'll wrap this one up outside here, right in the world of cicadas. Opening up the back door here at the ABV Barrel Shop. And listen, you can already hear them. Already hear them right there as soon as we open the door. How loud is that? So there you go. There's the cicadas. That's what's going on in St. Louis area right now. Loud as can be. So you can hear that through our brick wall building here. It is so loud and it's deafening as I'm standing here, I'm 10 feet from our door right here. And there's a little wooded area with a creek behind the shop, and they're all filtered throughout there. Like I said, one dive bombed me earlier, and I can see them moving around in some trees here. So I'm getting back in the shop. See you guys. Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.